Now Armstrong will say that, granted, a mental state is a cause within a person of certain ranges of behavior, and it's also what is responsible for their so-called multi-track dispositions. To that extent, he's on board with Ryle. He agrees with Ryle. But he wants to argue that we still need to explain those dispositions. What is the non-dispositional, as it were, categorical basis of those dispositions? Armstrong wants to suggest that, well, that might not be something we can know a priori. We might not be able to settle that question in our armchairs, so to speak. He wants to suggest instead that perhaps it's an empirical question, not a question of logical analysis, what those intrinsic causes, what the intrinsic nature of those causes actually could be. And he hypothesizes, he can't know this a priori, no one can, but he suggests that it's, as not too crazy an idea, perhaps a state or a process within the central nervous system that is the basis of thinking and other kinds of mental phenomena, such as emotion and conscious experience. That is, perhaps, Armstrong suggests, thinking is a process within the central nervous system. Now, for many of you, that will sound all too obvious, so obvious as to not be worth saying, but it helps to understand the historical background against which it was formulated, because, for example, Armstrong is responding to Ryle, who is himself responding to a very strong, very powerful, very old tradition of dualistic thinking about the relationship between the mind and the body. It's easy to forget now, important to try to revive our sense of wonder at the idea that somebody could take seriously the thought that mentality, thinking, cognizing, emoting, even experiencing is something that is completely captured by a neuroscientific picture of humanity and likewise other creatures, other biological creatures. So Armstrong writes, we can give a complete account of man, he said man, we can change that to men or women or just people generally, in purely physico-chemical terms. Again, hypothesizing. He wants to suggest that as neuroscience and other related disciplines develop, we'll find that the verdict of modern science is going to be that the sole cause of mind-betokening behavior, that is intelligent behavior, in people and higher animals is the physico-chemical workings of the central nervous system. That thinking is a process in the central nervous system, whether it's something that occurs in human beings or an octopus or an elephant or a crow, insofar as all those creatures can think, and we've got good evidence in each case that they can, then those are just processes happening in the central nervous system, just as digestion is a process that happens inside of your stomach and other connected parts of your gut. So too thinking is a process that happens inside of your cranium, spinal cord, etc.